Is your sex life not so good? Has it gotten dull or infrequent? Do you want to know how to have better sex in a relationship? Let's break it down. I work closely with couples struggling with intimacy issues. When you see the title of this video, you might be thinking, I'm going to be talking about positions, toys, adventures, how you can spice things up in the bedroom. I hate to burst your bubble. I'm not going to talk about those things, but I'm going to talk about something far more important that's going to help you have a healthy sex life. I'm going to talk about the magic ingredient that is going to take your sex life to a whole new level. But before I do, I want to give you just some statistics about sex. And think about this. Some couples, on average, their sex lasts 33 seconds. I know, you're probably laughing, but seriously, some couples, sex lasts 33 seconds. Other couples, on average, sex lasts 44 minutes for them. So think about the disparity there, 33 seconds to 44 minutes. Those are two very different experiences that those couples are having together. On average, sex takes 5.4 minutes for a couple. You think, wow, that's not very long. But on average, it takes 5.4 minutes. So what is sex? What is healthy sex? It varies. There's different things that you do sexually with your partner. So healthy sex covers the gambit. It's the full continuum. And I'm going to talk about that. Is a quickie good or is a quickie bad? If sex takes way too long, is that good or is that bad? I actually think it's beside the point. It doesn't matter whether it's a quickie or whether you take all night to have sex. There's something that needs to be there that's far more important than what the actual act of sex is in order for sex to be enjoyable. I'm going to get to that magic ingredient that's going to help your sex life go to a whole new level. But before I do, remember to like this video and to subscribe. I'm going to tell you something that we all know, but I just need to say it. The best sex is with somebody that you love. And the best sex is with somebody who you know loves you back. Healthy sex, the best sex is about connection. It's about intimacy. When there's intimacy during sex, that's the best sex. I want to tell you the 5 sex killers. Now these things destroy enjoying sex. First off, pressure. When you apply pressure to your partner or your partner applies pressure to you, that doesn't help with sexual intimacy. You think about it, the very nature of sex is about being vulnerable with each other. It's about opening up. It's about surrendering and letting go. When you're feeling forced, when you're feeling pressured, then you don't want to go do that with somebody. So pressure does not help when it comes to sex. The reason I know this is because I have heard from so many couples, this is usually what happens. A couple comes in and he sits down and he says, she's not having enough sex with me. It's been too long. Why won't she engage more with me? And she looks over at him and kind of rolls her eyes and is like, that is not sexy. I don't want to connect with you when you're pouting, when you're complaining. Also, sex is not his. He's not entitled to it. He's not entitled to her body. It doesn't automatically mean that she has to have sex with him just because they're in a relationship. And so when she feels those things, she backs off. There's one story, a couple I was working with, they decided to do what's called a sex fast. I believe it was 30 days where they weren't going to have sex at all. And it was really interesting because they lasted 3 days. And what happened was when they took that sex fast, she realized that it was off the table. She really wanted to have sex. The pressure was gone, so then she was willing to engage. The thing that was killing their sex life all along was just him pressuring her. Another sex killer is selfishness. When you show up selfish in the bedroom, what do you know? Your partner doesn't love it. So there's a difference between being honest and asking for what you like, being vulnerable, being transparent, and being open. All of those things aren't selfish. Selfishness is when you're entitled, when you're willing to use your partner just for your own needs. That's selfish. Another thing that kills sex in a relationship is consumption. Now, think about that. Consumption. consuming your partner. How that looks is objectifying your partner. They're just an object for your own use and your own needs. Or you may be consuming them not just physically, but for your self-worth. You need them to get off. You need them to have an orgasm so that you feel good enough about yourself. That's pressure to them, and it's also consumption to them. It doesn't make sex very exciting to get consumed. Sometimes you can consume a partner for your own self-worth in terms of feeling beautiful enough and feeling good enough by having them be satisfied sexually. Now, it's okay to feel desired. It's okay to feel beautiful. But if you're using your partner only for that, it's a problem. The last thing that kills a good sex life is fear. If you show up in the bedroom and you're full of fear about what they're gonna do, what they're gonna say, what they're gonna think about you, and your shame and your fear come up, it makes it so that you aren't very vulnerable in the bedroom. All right, now that we've talked about the things that kill a good sex life, let's talk about the things that really support a healthy sex life so that you can totally surrender, totally be present, and totally enjoy sex with each other. The first thing that you need for a healthy sex life is trust. Trust brings safety. Safety makes it so that you can be vulnerable. Vulnerability means you can explore together, you can create together, and you can connect on a deep level together. Trust is the key to it all. It's the foundation of healthy intimacy and the foundation of a good sex life. The next thing that's really important is respect. You respect each other. Again, you're not consuming each other, you're not showing up selfish, but you're respecting each other. Another thing that's important is attraction. Now, I get it. All these things, trust, safety, respect, those things are important. But you do need to be attracted to each other. Now, how do you work on this? It is being honest with each other a little bit about how you feel. You know, if I showed up with my wife in the bedroom and I had really bad body odor, I might need to work on that. So it would be good if she'd say, hey, work on your hygiene a little bit, buddy. But the point being attracted to each other is important. And lastly, probably the most important, is that you have emotional, spiritual connection, and ultimately that there is love there. Love is selfless connection to another person. It's understanding them, it's seeing them, it's knowing them, and it's connecting to them on an intimate level. That will bring intimacy, safety, and amazing sex into the relationship. Amazing sex is a byproduct of an amazing relationship. So it's not so much about working on things in the bedroom that are gonna support you to have awesome sex in your relationship. It's about working on other things in the relationship, working on the trust, working on the communication, working on that intimacy. And then sex is gonna happen and it's gonna be awesome. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you found it useful. If you want more content, more in-depth content that will help your relationship, then check out my relationship reset. You can find it in a link below.